गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स। लास्ट क्लास रे हम डिस्कस करथिले अबाउट द इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ फोटोसिंथेसिस एंड द फोटोसिंथेटिक पिगमेंट क्लोरोफिल विषय। तबे पहले हम स्टार्ट करिया कोन मैकेनिज्म ऑफ लाइट रिएक्शन। बिफोर गोइंग टू मैकेनिज्म ऑफ लाइट रिएक्शन, photosynthetic pigment, the pigments that absorb sunlight and convert it into chemical energy is known as photosynthetic pigment. तो pigment में कौन-कौन सा उसकी नॉर्मली chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotenoid, D xanthophyll. These are the major photosynthetic pigments used in the process of photosynthesis. These pigments are present in the thylakoid. Clear? Like your cell membrane, thylakoid is also a membrane. A membrane of thylakoid is composed of lipid and phosphate bilayer. Okay? A पर्यंत clearly बुझा पडला. This is the membrane of thylakoid. The membrane is composed of lipid and phosphate bilayer. Then हम कोडी जीवा mechanism of light reaction. There are few steps in which we complete the mechanism of light reaction. Thereafter we goes to the dark reaction. Mechanism of light reaction. First one is your excitation of chlorophyll. Second one is your photolysis of water. And third one is your photophosphorylation. In between, pigment system. Okay, तो फर्स्ट वन कौन बोले एक्साइटेशन ऑफ क्लोरोफिल. Both chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B has reaction center. That reaction center may be P700 or P680. If the reaction center is P700, then it is photosystem 1 or pigment system 1. If the reaction center is P680, then it is pigment system 2 or photosystem 2. So what is the difference between the P700 and P680? The major differences are in P700 both structure as well as longer wavelength of light observed. 70 काटू 680 वेवलेंथ रु जदि 70 रहबो ताको हम कहबा 70 जदि 680 रु अधिक रहबो ताको हम कोन कहबा longer. But in P680 only shorter wavelength of light observed. Okay, ए पर्यंत क्लियर होला. Excitation of chlorophyll in the cells what? There is a loss of electron. Chlorophyll molecule has already electrons. If photon energy or sunlight is received by the chlorophyll A, then it expels electron to its higher orbit. गोटे जिनस पिले माइंड रे तुम आसुथुओ इलेक्ट्रॉन रो मूवमेंट केमिति होछि, दैट इज कंटीन्यूअस और डिसकंटीन्यूअस. द मूवमेंट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन इज ऑलवेज डिसकंटीन्यूअस बिकॉज़ व्हाई काहे कि पिले गोटे सिंपल एग्जांपल आनियो. जदि तुम गोटे प्लेन रोड रे चली जीवो 1.2 किलोमीटर तुम चली पारिबो बा 1.8 किलोमीटर चली पारिबो. बट जब तुम सीढ़ी रे जीवो स्टेयरकेस रे जीवो ताले एक पर केते नंबर सीढ़ी आछी 2 नंबर सीढ़ी 1.2 नंबर सीढ़ी अछि कि नाही ना 1.8 नंबर सीढ़ी अछि नाही 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. बट जब तुम प्लेन रोड रे चली जीवो 1.2 किलोमीटर जाई पारिबो तो से जो 1.2 टा को हम कहछ कंटीन्यूअस बट 1.2 दैट इज डिसकंटीन्यूअस. तो इलेक्ट्रॉन रो जंप जेतन होउची तार ग्राउंड स्टेट रो से तार हायर ऑर्बिट को जंप करिवो. तो एठी तमरो कोन हैला इलेक्ट्रॉन एक्सपेल हैला गोटे हायर ऑर्बिट को. ए हायर ऑर्बिट रे से केते समय रहउची तुम कहितली 10 टू द पावर -6 टू 10 टू द पावर -9 सेकंड ये तमरो कोन हायर ऑर्बिट रे टाइम स्पेंड करिवो. देन अगेन कम टू इट्स ग्राउंड स्टेट. तो ए जो इलेक्ट्रॉन टा को हम कोन कहउचे पिले लॉस कला तब को हम को स्टेट कहबा ऑक्सीडेशन. जो पर्यंत ए इलेक्ट्रॉन गोटे मिलिनी से रिड्यूस हे परिबो नाही. बुझिला ए पर्यंत पॉइंट दैट इज व्हाट योर एक्साइटेशन ऑफ क्लोरोफिल. फर्दर नेक्स्ट स्टेप रे ए जो इलेक्ट्रॉन टाइट अछि ये कौन होउची यार वी विल डिस्कस. ओके, second step that is just splitting of water. Clear? पहले फोटोसिंथेसिस रिएक्शन दिए मन रखो 6CO2 plus 12H2O gives rise to C6H12O6 plus 6H2O plus 6O2. क्लियर? तो ए जो फोटोसिंथेसिस रे कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड और वाटर सबस्ट्रेट हिसाब रे यूज हैला. देन तम रिलीज होची कोन ग्लूकोज मॉलिक्यूल एंड बाय प्रोडक्ट कोन बाहरला ऑक्सीजन मॉलिक्यूल. बिफोर द साइंटिस्ट रॉबर्ट हिल को पूर्वरु all the scientists were ready to accept that the O2 तमर जो प्रोसेस रे रिलीज होउचे फोटोसिंथेसिस रो से O2 ता तमर कोड आसुची 6CO2 दैट मींस कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड रो. बट इमती हुए नहीं. ए जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड रो O2 रिलीज होउनी that O2 comes in the process of photosynthesis is released from the water molecule. तो water molecule भांगी की केमिति ऑक्सीजन रिलीज करछि we will discuss. देखो मो सिमिलरली गोटे H2O नेली कोन करियो मो एठे 2H plus by H plus plus OH minus, then OH minus तो कौन भी है कौन OH plus plus electron minus 2 electron minus clear जदि मैं 2H2O कर देबी कौन है 4H plus plus 4 electron minus plus O2. Is it okay? जदि मैं आपको 2 है अगेन है तो तुम कौन करेगी H2O करेगी तो कौन होगा H plus plus 2 electron 2H plus plus 2 electron minus plus half O2. Half O2 कौन पाई दिले because oxygen is always in the molecular form, that's why हमें O को लिख रखी परिबा नहीं, that is O2 otherwise half O2. तो रिएक्शन में कंक्लूड ले पारले जो वाटर मॉलिक्यूल रे ऑक्सीजन रिलीज होची तो रिएक्शन में हम कोन कहू बोले हिल्स रिएक्शन. हिल्स रिएक्शन. ओके नेक्स्ट pigment system one or PS1 reaction center कितने P700 clear. then pigment system 1 रे तमर कोन the process of movement of electrons is in cyclic manner. साइक्लिक मैनर माने कोन जोठू तमर इलेक्ट्रॉन दा एक्सपेल हेथिबो अगेन थ्रू अ सीरीज ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन कैरियर द एक्सपेल्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन अगेन कम टू इट्स ग्राउंड स्टेट फ्रॉम व्हिच इट इज एक्सपेल्ड जो एक्सपेल्ड हेथिला अगेन ता पाखरे पहुंच लेवल कोन कहबा साइक्लिक. आउ कोन तमर PS1 रे नाइट एब्जॉर्ब बोथ शॉर्टर एंड लॉन्गर वेवलेंथ. क्लियर. सिमिलरली जदि ले मु PS2 में भी रिएक्शन सेंटर देता हो P680 मोमेंट ता कोन एटा मिले नॉन साइक्लिक. क्लियर. तो किमिति ए सब जिंसर मोमेंट होउची किमिति इलेक्ट्रॉन्स मूवमेंट होउची कोड तमरा एनर्जी रिलीज होउची दैट विल डिस्कस इन द स्टेप्स ऑफ फोटोफॉस्फोरिलेशन. ओके next one is your photophosphorylation. What is the meaning of photophosphorylation? The energy yielding step of photosynthesis is known as photophosphorylation. There are various electron carriers are used. There are various electron carriers are used in the process of photophosphorylation. What are these electron carriers? Number 1, ferrodoxin. Number 2, quinone, plastoquinone, number 4, cytochrome complex, number 5, plastocyanin. जब हम पूछे पीसी तो साइटोक्रोम कॉम्प्लेक्स में हमारे दीटा साइटोक्रोम B6 F and B6 note it down. ओके एबे ए इलेक्ट्रॉन कैरियर रो कोन काम को पिगमेंट सिस्टम रे को इलेक्ट्रॉन कैरियर यूज होची वी विल डिस्कस. So before going to the use of photophosphorylation we will first discuss there are two types of photophosphorylation. This is the main part. Number 1 is your cyclic photophosphorylation. And number 2 is your non-cyclic photophosphorylation. As I already told you that the name cyclic means the moment of electron is cyclic and the name non-cyclic means the moment of electron is non-cyclic. Okay? Then come to cyclic. First what happened? Chlorophyll A molecule is present. The reaction center of cyclic photophosphorylation is P700. When photons or the solar energy when absorbed by the reaction center, the emission of electron or the chlorophyll A molecule loses electron and the electron goes to its higher orbit, and in that higher orbit it stays for 10 to the power minus 6 to 10 to the power minus 9. The role of electron carrier is to what? That to catch the electron only, and pass on to the next electron carrier. Okay, but in some cases what happened, in the pass on or in the process of pass on there is some loss of energy. That's why ATP molecule is generated, and that's why the energy yielding step of photosynthesis is known as your photophosphorylation. Okay, then what happened? The expelled electron was carried by ferrodoxin, then passed on to quinone, then to plastoquinone, then to cytochrome B, then to cytochrome F, then to plastocyanine, then to again P700. Okay, you have to remember these electron carriers and the pathway of the electron. Here what happened? In the movement of electron from quinone to plastoquinone, there is loss of energy. That's why ADP, your adenosine diphosphate, in presence of inorganic phosphate, converted into ATP, and that ATP is used here. Similarly, what happened in the process of movement of electron from cytochrome complex, or in between the cytochrome complex, there is also loss of electron. That's why the energy rich molecules or ATP is released in the process of movement of electrons from cytochrome B to cytochrome F6. Okay, sorry, B6 to cytochrome F. Here what happened? The pathway of the movement of electron is in a cyclic manner. That's why it is known as cyclic photophosphorylation. Cyclic is due to the movement of electron, and photophosphorylation, the name suggests that the release of ATP molecule. Is it clear to all? Okay. Next one is your non-cyclic. In cyclic photophosphorylation, there is use of or operation of only one photosystem, that is PS1 is possible. But in non-cyclic photophosphorylation, what happened? There is use of two pigment systems, that means both PS1 and PS2 involved. Okay, both the pigment systems are involved in the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, and here the movement of electron is always in a non-cyclic manner rather than the cyclic manner. How it is possible? Let's see. Chlorophyll molecule is present. If the reaction center is P680, then the name is PS2. Okay. If the photons or solar energy absorbed by the PS2, then also it expelled electron to its higher orbit. That electron is carried out by ubiquinone, then to quinone, then to plastoquinone, then to cytochrome B, then to cytochrome F, then to plastocyanine, then to PS1, that is P700. Although in the last step we discussed that P700 or PS1 is also a reaction center, if the energy rich electron is passed on to the P700, then also it loses its electron to its higher orbit, and that electron is passed on to FRB. Then here what happened? NAD and NADH plus. This is a reduced coenzyme NADH. The energy is used or stored in the reduced coenzyme, that is NADH. But here what happened? That NADH in the next step has to further reduced by the proton particles, and the electrons is required to start up the reaction again. Cyclic पाखर कौन है पहले देखो ना, इलेक्ट्रॉन जो टू जाइथिले सेने पहुंची गला तो रिएक्शन चली परिबो, बट एठी तमरो कौन हैला इलेक्ट्रॉन डाई टू रिलीज हे गला थ्रू ए सीरीज ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन कैरियर, it pass on to the PS1, but आप अकबू तो वासिन ना, हेले आप अकबू तो इलेक्ट्रॉन दो कर नले तो रिएक्शन चली पारियोनी तो केमिति आसो इलेक्ट्रॉन एडू दैट इलेक्ट्रॉन्स comes from the splitting of water H2O H plus 2 electron minus plus half O2 half O2 that electron is absorbed by the pH2 or the reaction center of pH2 to continue the cycle and that H plus 2H plus और जब हमें कुछ मिले प्रोटॉन that moves to here to form NADH2 तो प्रोटॉन तुमर जाउची का पाखु NADH पाखु for the formation of NADH2 is a reduced coenzyme and the breakdown of one molecule of NADH2 is resolved in the formation of 3 ATP. That's why NADH2 is also a energy yielding particle. बुझा पड़ला बिले देखो इलेक्ट्रॉन्स तमर गला का पाखु pH2 पाखु रिएक्शन कंटिन्यू कला और एटे जो 2H plus अछि the 2H plus is used by the NAD to form NADH2 and that NADH2 is a high energy yielding particle. The breakdown of one molecule of NADH2 is to form 3 molecule of ATP and the oxygen molecule is released as a byproduct. Is it clear to all? This is what about your mechanism of photosynthesis, that is the long question, mechanism of light reaction. Clear? Again I will repeat these things. First step रे कौन पढ़ले बिले excitation of chlorophyll. Second step रे कौन पढ़ले splitting of water molecule or Hill's reaction. From this step we concluded that the carbon dioxide is not the substrate for the oxygen. Instead the carbon dioxide, the oxygen is comes from the splitting of water molecule. Okay, that reaction was, the experiment was carried out by Robert Hill and the name is also known as Hill's reaction. Then the very next step we will discuss what the pigment system 1 and pigment system 2. What are the pigments in pigment system 1 and pigment system 2 and what are the reaction center of pigment system 1 and pigment system 2. Then what is the role of this pigment system in the photophosphorylation? Clear? Then in the very next step we discuss that there are two types of photophosphorylation. One is cyclic photophosphorylation and another one is your non-cyclic photophosphorylation. When there is a expellation of electron from the ground state, the electron is stay in its higher orbit for 10 to the power minus 6 to 10 to the power minus 9 seconds. Then that electron has goes through a series of electron carrier. If that electron comes to the reaction center from which it is expelled, then the reaction is known as cyclic photophosphorylation. If the electron does not come to the same reaction center, then that is known as non-cyclic photophosphorylations. Then what are the electron carriers used in photosystem? That is your quinone, ubiquinone, plastoquinone, cytochrome B6, cytochrome F, plastocyanin. Then it moved to the P700 where it is reduced by FRD and NAD. NAD is a reduced coenzyme and that NAD is further reduced by the proton particles released from the splitting of water molecule, that is NAD plus 2H plus is your NADH2 and oxygen is released as a byproduct, and the electron that comes from the splitting of water molecule is absorbed by the reaction center to again continue this cycle. Okay, this is what about the light reaction. In the very next class we will discuss about the dark reaction. Okay.